The Creator puts Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden and tells them to take dominion over it, to cultivate and care for the garden. God has given creation to us as a good fit, which we are to use for our benefit. But the charge to take dominion is not a license to do as we wish. We have a duty to respect the order of nature, to recognize how our actions impact that order. When we respect the natural order, we respect the Creator who designs it. For instance, we may cut down trees for lumber to build homes. But we don't just go in and clear cut the forest. This may be the cheapest way to get lumber, but it also destroys habitat, causes erosion, and spoils waterways. Instead, we must harvest the trees in a way that minimizes disruption to the ecosystem. Instead, we must harvest the trees in a way that minimizes disruption to the ecosystem. We use natural resources for the common good, that which is good for both individual and community. The idea of the common good is a basic Catholic social principle. It forces me to look beyond just my personal perspective, what's in it for me, to what's good for the community. At the same time, the common good is not a collectivist good that is willing to sacrifice the few for the many. The common good considers what it benefits both individual and community. When we take dominion over creation, we do it as stewards, not owners. The Creator has designated us as agents for His creation, but He remains its owner. When we forget this, we risk breaking the seventh commandment. This commandment prohibits stealing, but more broadly, it protects property. Since the world belongs to God, we mismanage His property when we disrespect nature. Obviously, we don't dump our trash in our neighbor's front yard. Obviously, we don't dump our trash in our neighbor's front yard. Our neighbor would rightly consider that a violation of his property rights. It's his front yard. In the same way, we don't disrespect the Creator's property rights by dumping toxic chemicals. In the same way, we don't disrespect the Creator's property rights by dumping toxic chemicals in the river. God's creation is for the good use of not just a few, but everyone. The goods of creation include natural resources like water, land, and minerals, as well as all the things that come from them, food, houses, and washing machines. The Creator intends that everyone should have what they need of these things. This is known as the universal destination of goods, an important principle in Catholic economic teaching. God can dictate that creation is to be shared among all people because He has right of ownership. The universal destination of goods does not deny property rights, our right to own things, to own a house or business, or to have bank or investment accounts. Property is an important natural right which the Church has always upheld. The right to property is important for itself, but is also related to other civil rights. In a society where people have savings and investments, where they own farms, where they own homes, farms, and businesses, citizens have greater political and social freedom. However, and this is crucial, property rights are not absolute. They are always subject to the principle of the universal destination of goods. This means that we can own property, but we must use that property for the benefit of others. After all, we are not really owners but stewards. There are always competing interests for how we use the land and natural resources. A piece of land can be conserved as natural space, or it could be farmed. It could be turned into a housing development, or it could be mined for minerals. All of these are potential goods. It is our job to make prudential decisions that determine what is best. It is our job to make prudential decisions that determine what best serves the common good.